No Irishman here tonight. One waved. There's not that much drinking going on at Beachcomber, apparently. So how many of you are happy that the winter's over? You thought you escaped it, right? You thought you escaped it. We got you. We tricked you. This winter was terrible, though. I don't know about you guys. Are you guys from like areas that get a lot of snow?
Yeah.
Are you? How do you do it? I had 3 feet of snow for the first time ever in my life. I had 2 strokes, 3 heart attacks. I got diabetes from all the hot chocolate. I don't know how you guys do it. I was late for work. So anyway, you're welcome back. Welcome back to Irma. You guys gonna hit up Wildwood Boardwalk? You guys gonna do some stuff with the boardwalk? Maybe. Have you ever been to the boardwalk? Okay, cool. So I'm just here to tell you there's a couple things that are a little different this year. Did you hear about the tram car thing? Right? It's a mixed deal. Are you pro or anti-new tram car? Anti. Wow. Now why? Is it it's just not traditional? Yeah, well walk. Yeah, so now it's a new hybrid. So you gotta go up there, you have to check it out for yourself. But some things are the same. The seagulls are still there. Are you guys excited about that? No? I work at a grocery store, right? And the issue we're having is we put all our potato chips outside. Now I'll tell you, your store over here, that place is nice. I'm always impressed with this Campground's store. It's almost as good as my supermarket that I manage. But the issue we're having is they tell us to get points of interruption. They tell us, put the chips outside. The customers will fill their carts up with the chips. They'll get their Boulder Canyon, they'll get their Hers, they'll get their Lays, you know? But the problem is the seagulls figured that out. So now, every day when I walk in, it looks like a seagull gang. There's a giant seagulls. They got puff coming out their neck. They got an eye patch. They're ready to go. We had to put wind socks up to keep them away. It's kind of terrible. In Ocean City, now they are using falcons to kill the seagulls, to get the seagulls. Have you guys seen this yet? So now when you go up on the boardwalk in Ocean City, there's people walking around, they got falcons on their arms. They look kind of cool, to be honest with you. And the seagulls got like all these helmets on it. Animals are cool. You know what I mean? Animals are cool. So my question to you guys is, you're probably going to hit the beach at some point this summer, right?
Hopefully.
Did you guys see that the great white shark got pinged off the shore though? Right? They try to always scare you with that. How close do you think that shark is?
300 feet.
It's not 300 feet. It's 15 miles. Think about that. It's 15 miles away. They get you all excited on Facebook, but that shark is 15 miles away. So my question to you is this. What do you think you are most likely to get attacked by in Wildwood, New Jersey? A lion or a shark?
Seagull.
Or a seagull or his wife?
I'm pretty sure that I was thinking. Yeah.
Sometimes you think things and you're not supposed to say them. However, congratulations to this man. So in Wildwood, in 1938, a lion escaped its cage underneath the boardwalk. There have been 0 attacks of sharks in Wildwood, New Jersey, ever. So in 1938, there was this thing called the Wheel of Death. They would put the lion in the sidecar. The guy would just whip the lion around. The lion would wear sunglasses. It was cool. It was all fun. One night, the lion, someone left the cage open, got out, got a poor J1 student, the poor guy. They got him. That guy had a 0 in 9.5 million chance of getting snagged by a lion. He was more likely to get hit by lightning twice in the same place while winning the Powerball. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it was nuts for that poor guy. But, whenever I tell that story, everyone thinks I'm lying. Exactly. That's why I leave the jokes to the comedians, folks. And up next, we've got our good friend, Joe Straka. Give a hand for him. He's a touring comedian. We want to take every Seinfeld open up for him. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Straka.
All right, thanks Jersey Devil, thanks Beachcomber for having us tonight. Thank you guys for coming out and enjoying this lovely summer weather. And I really love doing stand-up comedy. I've been doing a lot of touring. I toured in Chicago, Philadelphia, New York, and Don said, listen, I have a show for you at the Beachcomber Campground in Lower Township, New Jersey. Absolutely sign me up. Thank you. And I've worked some pretty weird venues. I worked at a place called The Basement, and I grew up at the shore, so we didn't have basements. But when I was a kid, I used to go to my aunt's place in Philly, and my cousin would take me down to the basement and do a lot of different silly bad things. Like when I was 8, I had my first beer down in the basement. When I was 10, my first cigarette down in the basement. And when I was 11, I made out with my first cousin in her basement. Now, he said it wasn't a bad thing to do so, and it's still our little secret. But yeah, I did some traveling. I went to Nebraska. Has anybody ever been to Nebraska? Most boring place I've ever been. But they had, in Omaha, they had a chain of restaurants called Runz's. And I will tell you, it's not just a name, it's a warning. Because after you eat there, in 30 minutes, you're going to have to run to a bathroom because you're going to get the Runz's. But I love working with all these funny comedians, and I worked with a comedian a couple of weeks ago, told a story, brought back a childhood memory. He told a story about how he found his father's stash of adult material, and he and his father bonded over that moment. And when I was 9, I found my father's stash of adult material. Now, we didn't bond over that moment, but that's when I discovered my father was gay. Johnny Does the Catching wasn't a baseball film. So when I travel, I stay in hotels, and some of the hotels have these coffee machines. You ever see these coffee machines are automatic? You press the button as the coffee comes out. So I'm standing behind a guy, and in the middle of making his coffee, he starts to walk away. I said, "Well, sir, the coffee's still being made." He said, "Yeah, but the screen said to leave room." No, it meant leave room for cream. And depending on the number of laughs I get with that, I also say, "You probably had to be there, but I'm glad you weren't." Because that wasn't a guy, it was me. But it was a good cup of coffee after I realized that's what good fun. But when my mother, when I was a little kid, she didn't think I knew my name. So she bought me this stupid shirt that said, "Hello, my name is Joseph John." And when I look back on that, she was really serving me up their creeps on a silver platter with that shirt. I wear the shirt to school one day. I'm walking home, and this weird guy in the van goes up next to me and says, "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get the van? I've got some candy." "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get the van? I've got a puppy." I didn't know who he was talking to. My mother was right. I didn't know my name. Oh.
Poor Johnny Joseph.
Poor John. Let me tell you what else she did. She bought me a diary when I was a little kid. I had no idea what a diary was. And to this day, there was only 2 entries in that diary. It's almost 60 years old. And the entries were from the first day that I got it. And the first entry was, "My butt's itchy, I don't think I went too good." The second entry was, "Yup, I went back, more fudge." Oh, disgusting, I know. But you guys ate. You know. I love doing stand-up comedy. I love traveling, and I'm from the South Jersey area, but comedy's allowed me to travel all over the country. Don mentioned about Jerry Seinfeld. In New York, Jerry Seinfeld actually did go on before me, and Jim Gaffigan went on before me. It was probably the toughest show I ever had to do, where I had to follow a combined 40 minutes of Jerry Seinfeld and Jim Gaffigan. So that was a fun show. But oh gosh, let me cut some more. That spotlight is just terrible.
You want a napkin?
I'm good. I know.
It's a pretty break.
I'll get it. Oh.
Here, wait, there's one that's open.
I got it, okay.
Look, I didn't get a chance to take a sip. I'm clean.
All right. Sorry about that. I'll get the water bottle.
Let me get out of your way.
So, I turned 65 this year, and people said, "Oh, it's a celebration, it's a big milestone." I said, "No, at this point in my life, it's really not really a celebration, it's more of a countdown." And, my body's falling apart. I'm on all kinds of medication. And last year I had to go for a colonoscopy. You guys know what a colonoscopy is, right? So they take that hose and shove it all the way up. And when they did my procedure, they didn't put me all the way under. They just did that twilight anesthesia. And in the recovery room, the doctor said to me, he said, listen, when you were under, you were doing a lot of talking. You made us laugh. I said, oh, really? What did I say? He said, the one thing you told us that really made us laugh is you said, come on, fellas, one at a time. Experiences in my life, you get to 65 and you get a lot of other crazy experiences, and I don't know. I have to look at my cheat sheet because I'm not a clean comic, and I was told I have to be clean. So, okay. Here's one. People ask me, have you ever been to prison? And I have been. 10 years ago, I went to prison for 6 months for stealing 3 apples. 6 months for 3 apples. Now, it was 2 iPhones and an iPad, but it was still only 3 apples. I'm dating a wonderful woman. She's half Italian, half Polish, which means she knows how to cook. She just doesn't know what to cook. And I do anything for her. I really do. And, I went to her nephew's awards banquet at Stockton College a few weeks ago. He was getting an award for esports, video games, which, in my opinion, isn't a sport. And by definition of sport, the 4th word in the definition of sport is physical. And I don't know that, doing this with your thumb, I don't know that counts. So, but, I do that for my girlfriend. And, we have fun. She, So, anybody like getting massages? Yeah, I hate massages. The very first massage I got, the only massage I got, was a hidden hurt. My ex-wife took me, and the first thing they did is they started giving me noogies. Remember noogies? The knuckles over your head? And I'm like, I'm not going to pay you money to give me noogies. It's just, not going to happen. But, my ex-wife, I can't tell you, again, it makes, I can't tell you why I got divorced, but suffice to say, it was something bad. But anyway, she was a terrible driver. In our driveway, she backed up and hit my parked car. Now, I was in the car with her, and she looked at me and said, I forgot you were home. So I looked at her, and I could have gone 2 ways, right? I could have done the smart thing and not said anything. I did the Joe thing. I said, I'm sitting right next to you. That was the first part of the divorce, why we got divorced. But my God knows the next one. So anyway, people ask me, if you had a time machine, what would you do? Friends of mine always answer, I go back in time, change history, make the world a better place. I'm too selfish for that. I would go back to 3rd grade, when Mrs. Wilsey's dragged me down to the principal's office and asked me, Mr. Scaraka, what do you think? You're a comedian? Now I have a good answer. Oh gosh. All right. I'm going to be. Let me close. I'm going to close with it. I'm going to tell you a story about a trip that I took out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, about a year ago by myself. I was getting bored hanging around the pool, so I did a little sightseeing. I came across a town called Wilton Manors. Has anybody ever heard of Wilton Manors? Second gayest town in America. Now, I'm not gay, despite what I said. With my colonoscopy, but I was curious. And I went into a gay bar, I had a drink, and I was minding my own business. This man comes up to me and he says, how much? How much what? How much hair do you have under that shirt? Nobody had ever asked me this question before. I had no idea how to answer it. So I did what I thought was the smartest thing to do in a gay bar. I looked at my shirt and I showed him, sorry, please. And this guy starts petting me. And I figured, okay, I'll be his little Italian cheer pet for a while. I said, Not on the equator, I'm not gay. He said, sweetie, if you ever want to switch teams, you give me a call. I'd love to be your coach. Hands in his arm, he starts to walk away. After he's walking away, he looks back at me and said, when you were a little kid, did you have a shirt that said, hello, my name is Joseph? Thank you guys, I'm Coach Straka.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up again for Joe Straka. Well, Joe, we all know a little bit more about you tonight. I'm not sure. Guys, we can't thank you enough for coming out, hanging out with us tonight. We have another